Okay, so no, those of you have not learned about robotics today, we will be having 2 sessions where we will be introducing you to robotics and giving you a basic understanding of the application of robotics. And how many of you think that robotics sounds cool? How many of you think that robotics is cool? It's cool, isn't it? So not just because of its name, but also because of the work that we do here. What comes to your mind when you hear about the word robot? What do you think a robot is? Yeah, Iron Man. That's actually one of the things that most of the people think about. Like Avengers is like one of the big inspiration that people take when they think about robots. And also some of you I can see have this thinking that big machines are considered as a robot. But actually, the simplest definition of a robot is that any matter that has at least 1 degree of freedom is a robot. And the robots which takes shape of humans are called humanoids. Like, yeah, like Iron Man, right? It's basically a humanoid, right? So robotics is the study of robots. It is making of robots, playing with them. And why do you think we need robotics? Well, robots makes our task easy, right? They can do repetitive tasks without getting bored. They don't need rest. Yeah, we use machines to ease our duties. Exactly. We design robots. We make fast work. Exactly, Vamsi. We don't need rest. They don't. They never get sick. They yeah. To make our fast works, they are like slaves. Okay, okay. Yeah, we don't give salary, but we do have to design them, right? We have to learn how to design them, and then we can like not care about giving them salary afterwards to do things that humans cannot do more efficiently. Exactly. And you know what's the best part about robots? Come on, what's the best thing that you can think of that robots uh, help you to do? Yeah, it helps reduce manpower to explore where humans can't go or survivor. Yes. Well, you know what? According to me, robots, the best part about them is that they never complain. Yeah, they never complain. So without wasting any more time, I would like to welcome Dhanush, who will be introducing you to the world of robotics. So please, everyone, show some enthusiasm in the chat box and make sure you guys give him your complete attention. Yeah? Okay. Dhanush, are you there?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hi guys, are you
Okay.
excited for the session? So yeah, I can see yes in the chat box. So let's start our session now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Hi
You can
everyone,
start.
I'm Dhanush. Uh, Hi everyone, I'm Dhanush from Robotics and Automation. I welcome you all to TechFest 3.0 Day 4. So today we are going to discuss about robotics introduction. Excuse me, just a minute. Yeah, sorry, my slide got slipped. So today we are going to discuss about Asimov's laws, basic components of robotics, robotic arm, feedback control system, degree of freedom, applications of robotics, and a robo analyzer. This is a software and the basic concept for this software. So let's start our section now. I would like to start it with a question. What is a robot? So can someone give me a definition or a sentence which pops up on in your mind when you hear what is a robot? Yeah, robot is a machine. Machine. Okay. Use of machine to ease our duties, right? Machine will do our tasks, right? Wow, that's great. Machine with brain. That's interesting. Yes, all the definitions were absolutely correct, and the basic definition. I'm sorry. The basic definition, which tells what is a robot is a machine which is programmable by a computer and capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. And this term robot comes from a Slavonic root. The robot is first used in 1920 CZ language, which means compulsive servitude. Does anyone know what is compulsive servitude? No? Oh, that's fine. I'll say. So, compulsive servitude is the state of being a slave or complete subject to someone more powerful. Here, our humans consider ourselves as powerful beings than robots. Of course, that is true before creating the robots, but structure wise, we should not think it is as it is, right? So, now going to the next. Can someone say, how many of you know Isaac Asimov, the man in this picture? Or anyone know what is the contribution he did to robotics? I thought this interaction, yeah, Ravindra, that's right, Asimov's laws of robotics. He's the first one to propose those. So let me tell about him. As I have mentioned here, he is an American writer, professor of biochemistry at Boston University, and the main thing is he is the first one to propose laws of robotics. And the laws are here. Here are the laws, and you can read them on the screen. For your sake, I will read it. The law one is a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow human being to come to harm. The second law is a robot must obey the orders given by its human beings except the orders where it conflicts the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long its protection doesn't conflict with the first or second laws. So, actually, Asimov has later added a zeroth law about the all others, which states that a robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. These four laws states that robots should not harm human beings or in case with a direct or indirect activity. So, seeing these laws and do you think a robot or a machine can be made to obey these laws, or they can be programmed to obey? What's your opinion, guys? Yes means can I take it as they can be programmed? It is possible. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I see so many follows for Isaac Asimov then. It's not like I'm against you, but in my view, I don't think so because harm can occur in many ways. It can be an accident or it can be intentional, which to the basic level contradicts the first law and loses its balance. Asimov's laws are good in ethics wise, but practically speaking, we don't have technology to make machines which obey those laws. Let's hope and try to achieve the technology if we can. That helps, right? So, going to the next. Let's discuss about basic components of a robot now. A robot is, the basic components of a robot is never like different from the humans. It has a structural context like human beings. We have body structure, brain system, sensor system, and muscle system. Similarly, a robot has a basic components of four categories: the body or frame, control system, manipulators, and drivetrain. So let's go deep into those. Starting with body or frame. You all think that designing or programming are more important over body or frame of a robot. But for the starters, if it is important to figure out body or frame before assembling the robot parts or preparing the program to compute with. In case if an individual makes a robot neglecting the proper plan over body or frame, it ends up exposing circuits, wires sticking or popping out, which may spoil the device or the circuit boards, which results in default of a robot. And most people are comfortable with the human sized robots or shaped robots that we have seen in movies, but robots are designed more on their performance than their appearance. Going to the next, control system. A control system. A control system of a robot is similar to the nervous system of our body. It allows the movement and function of various parts of the robot and also execute a set of motions and forces if any unexpected errors come ahead, which means it is an automated one. I mean, which is an automated mission. Sensors provide feedback based on the robot surroundings, which is sent to CPU, and then the CPU filters the information through the robot programming and make the decisions based on the logic. This is how the control system in the robot works, and to give the better in output for the human beings or the for the owners to whom they it work. You can see in the GIF, right? It is being operated. It is a operating mission, but if it is an automatic, it catches the ball with the grip of its own and the sensors while finding the ball position. So going to the next, manipulators. Manipulators of a robot can be separate machine or which can be used in industries or can be a part of robot which is used as hands of the robot mm, to manipulate things or reorient the things to further better output. Most of the manipulators are used in industries as robotic arms for welding, spraying, and moving objects which humans can't. This is about manipulators. Going to the drivetrain, this is an main important function of the robot. It is the component of robot which gives the movement. Sentence can be simple for telling and listening, but its complexity is way too far. Back to the drivetrain, it is also referred as drive base. Humanoid robots uses gate form as a drivetrain. Talking about this sentence, how many of you seen a Robo or Robo 2.20 movie? Yeah, I can see so many replies. That's nice. Of course, everyone is fan of that movies. And did you guys observe that the robot in the movie was given a walk format on the base of Rajnikant, right? It walks similarly as the Rajnikant walk. Did you observe, guys? Yes. So that is how the humanoid robots are given their drivetrains. And for the remaining robots, it is wheeled one, as you can see in the picture. So let me ask you a question now. Can you guys see the picture on the screen? Yeah, it is an actor. I didn't see your name, but the it's not a real robot, humanoid. That's an act. So how many can you see the picture on the screen? Right? Can you name that device? What is the device name? If you know or if you had any practical experience with that. Oh, sorry, Manvendra, what's that you're drawing? Yes, yeah, everyone, that's right. It's a robotic arm. And can you say what is this? Can s- can someone tell me what is the difference between these two pictures? Okay, move. That's right, Shika. Yeah, this first one, it is particularly oriented for it is an immobile robot which is positioned in a particular place and it moves from the in stating with the particular place, it moves its arm. But in the second picture, you can see the two arms. If it is also an immobile, but if it is attached to a robot, with the movement of robot, it moves from one place to another place and can reorient the objects. The first, second one is mechanical arm can be automated or human controlled or can be used for domestic purposes and more. And the first one is industrial robot. It's kind of automation equipment which is used in industries for loads and lifting the heavy objects. So as we can't discuss whole humanoid robot now, let's start it from the basics. Robotic arm. The robotic arms are machines that are programmed to execute a specific task or job quickly, efficiently, and accurately. The links of such a manipulator are connected by joints, allowing their rotational or translation displacement. You can see in that, right? As the GIF was moving, and the links of this manipulator can be considered to form a kinematic chain. A kinematic chain is the chain formed by the links as in this picture. And the terminus of the kinematic chain of the manipulator is called end effector. You can see that silver shaded end factor, right? So I mean, it is called end factor, this part, which is silverly shaded. And robotics arms are analogous to human hands. It is for doing maximum extent of human hand work for lifting the weights or for moving the robots. Some works like that. So feedback control system. Do you think humans are better than robots or robots are better than humans? Humans are better or robots? Humans are better. Of course, we humans are better, but robots have a special quality which we don't have. It has a feedback control system. We to have that, but our emotions controls our maximum outputs. But for the robot, it has a feedback control system. Let me explain that. The feedback control system is an electrical signal which is transferred from the output to the controller. So the controller would be able to calculate the output. I mean, so how the output is different from the required one. And the controller would know the past state of the system output with the help of the feedback signal. The controller would calculate the error and it would vary the signal input to get the required output. The feedback controls are automated and it should do the sensing, calculating, manipulating to be performed by the equipment and that each element must communicate with the other elements in the control system. So here you can see in the picture, right? The input was given, it is controlled by controller and process was done by actuators and when the output was given, the sensors in the system sense the elements and it senses the surroundings. For example, if it is consider AC, air conditioner, and if your room was overheated, it the sensors in the AC detects the temperature and it sends back to the input so that output which was given can cool the temperature, cool the room. So this is how those work. And the characteristics of the feedback system are it has good accuracy, it has a slight tendency towards oscillation, it is it has the nonlinear effects are reduced, effects of external disturbances, noises are reduced, product quality can be increased. I mean output quality can be increased. The response of the variation is of input is very high, which gives us the best output. And you can I have mentioned here the examples for a feedback control system. How air conditioner, AC, home furnace system, military weapons, speedometer, Tesla Model X, even and many more. So let's go deep into one example, home furnace control system. A home furnace control system, I think many of you know about the home furnace control system, right? You might have, no, you don't know. Okay, that's fine. Actually, it is an similar to AC. I will explain it in the part. I don't think many of us have in India, because who would want an heat generating device in India, particularly when the temperatures were high in this country. So we might be going to foreign for our studies or for maybe jobs. So it is better to learn about those. So let's learn it. Heat generate. So home furnace control system, it detects the room temperature is higher than the reference value. Reference value was the minimum room temperature for a better human. I mean, it generates a signal to switch off the furnace if the temperature is high. And on the other hand, if it detects that the room temperature is lower than the reference value, it generates a signal to switch on the furnace. And the process was simply given in this picture. It was similar to back before one, and it is how the home furnace control system works. So, coming to the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom in mechanics contest are very specific defined modes in which a mechanical device or a system can move. The number of degree of freedom are equal to the total number of independent displacement. A machine can operate in 2 or 3 dimensions, but have more than 3 degree of freedom. It means if, for example, if there is an 2D dimension, if there are object in the 2D dimension, and it can have, I mean, the statement states that it can have 2 degree of freedom, and it can have even 3 or 4 degree of freedom. It doesn't depend on the dimension of the figure. And same is with three-dimensional state. So how many of you know what is the degree of freedom of our human hand? 6, you were near, Shari. 180. Oh my god. 7, yeah, Ravindra and Shari, that was correct answer. This a human hand with a shoulder, elbow, and wrist joints have 7 degree of freedom with respect to its independent movements. That's right, Ajita Yadav. So going to the next, applications of robotics. So I think many of you have experience with robotics, right? In direct or indirect manner. When we see into our lives or daily routines, we can observe that we are directly or indirectly connected to the robotics or to do our works, right? Oh, I don't. Yes. Okay. In the many aspects, so I have sorted the applications of robotics in category wise. So you can see here the applications of robotics, automobile, agriculture, medical purpose, laboratories, military, mining, exploration, transportation, utilities, warehouse, household, entertainment, and construction. So this is how the applications are sorted by me, and you can see the pictures. Automobile, if you consider automobile, this is how the cars are made with the robotic arms. Let me take a spotlight so that you can clearly understand. Uh, sorry, I could not find a laser pointer. So follow my mouse. Automobile for case, here you can see robot arms are working on the cars. And here for agriculture, the robotic arm is spraying water to the plants. And also you know that, right? Hmm. You know that, right? The drip irrigation is in the advanced mode, and you can see how the robotics is implemented in different sectors. So this lot, I would stop it from now. And Swati issue, you can take the lead. Hello. Yeah.
Okay, it
Yeah.
was really good, guys. Did you enjoy it? There was really a lot of. Okay, I guess Swati
Thank
is
you so
there.
much. Thank you so much, Dhanush, for the wonderful presentation about robotics. Guys, did you like the presentation? Everyone? Has everybody got the basic idea about robotics? If anybody here has any doubts regarding the topic, please feel free to put them in the chat box. Yeah, we'll make sure that they are answered. Okay, thank you, Faisal, for enjoying the session. Yeah, Kiran, thank you. Thank you, Dhanush, for making such an awesome presentation. I can see people are loving it. And if everything is clear, I hope everything is clear. If it is clear, then type yes in the chat box, everyone. Okay, so now we have an interaction with our senior, Ritik Verma. He is the Deputy Technical Head of RISC. Although he is from Mechanical Engineering branch, he excelled the field of robotics and became an robotic enthusiast. He has helped a lot of students in robot research and simulation and also teach his own course on robotics and simulation in Udemy. He says branch is not the limit, interest is the limit, and he further adds he lives in engineering. So everyone, please show some active participation and enthusiasm. And let's welcome Ritik sir. And sir, are you there?
Yeah. I'm there. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible, sir.
And thank you for such a warm welcome. Thank you a lot.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.
So how are you guys all? How means how are you enjoying this like sessions and all those things, like sitting on your home? Okay. So before I will start, I would like you to meet one of my friend. Okay. I will share my screen, and I would like all of you to meet one of my friend. I think it's audible. Is it audible? Okay.
I am no robot. Will you be my friend? Please. So friends, shake hand. Hello.
So how was it? How you like it? Did you like did you like the robot? What do you say, guys? Yeah. Okay. Just a second. So okay, if you guys have some question, let's just put it out. What you say, like, because I consider myself like, so if you have guys some question, then we can call up, like you can come up on the desk, or we can have a chat. Like, what is the name of this robot? Actually, the name of this robot is Now Robot. You can Google it. It's having 22 degrees of freedom and all those things. So there are lot many things, like when you become part of clubs and community like this, now you come to know a lot of like this. Like, could also show you some more, like, I've made dozens of robot like this. Okay. So what, how are you feeling, guys? Because look over here, like when you come to risk help, remember one thing, like don't consider yourself that you belong to a branch or you belong to certain things. Go up, means open up over here, be everything that you want to learn. Come here and enjoy the world. Like it's the best place to work on robots. Like I have personally developed so many robots, like as a being. Yeah, and it's really interesting when you start working with robots. Now you will understand that everyone branch is so much interrelated, and you will learn just the entire engineering working on the projects. You will feel like, yeah, I have expertise in all aspect of engineering. Though I you might be knowing, though I belong to the field of mechanical engineering, still just because I was the part of this club, I was able to make so many other, learn so many things. Like I have a good knowledge on Arduino as well. I have very good knowledge on programming. I have also worked on image processing robot. One of them I make. So you, like this is one of the image processing robot. This is controlled by my own hands. So there are so many things to learn upon. Like it just depend on how much interested you are. So anything more you want to say before I go? Like what you guys feel like, how, if anybody wants to come on the desk, then they can have a talk with me as well. Teaching is like, if you want, I can, you can contact me. Like they might be having my numbers, then you can have a contact with me, or either you can come on the Instagram page. I have even developed a course on Udemy. You can see those as well. If you want, just come to me. I will see what all things can be done. Like if you are interested in this perspective, especially. Any more questions? Like what what you guys want to learn? Like because I don't have so much time. Like so right now I'm not that free. Like yeah. If you have any question, then come up. This is the time, because where rarely you will find senior. Coding is hard. No man, it's not that hard, because when you start learning the basics, like when you have the knowledge of the basics now, then you can go on the coding. Like especially oops concept matters a lot. Once you learn the oops, then it's easy. You will not feel it hard. Yeah, I'm on an internship. I'm developing robot right now. I'm working for a company named Drishtiworks. Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things that you all can go on and work on. Like there are line following robot, there are humanoid robot, there are aerial robots, then there are ground robots, UAVs, SUV. There are many kind of robot. Like there are n number of robots. You can develop your interest. Yeah, at present I'm working for a just as an intern for a Drishtiworks name company. For that I'm working as an intern. I'm developing robots. Even I would say, if you want to go in depth of robotics, then just learn ROS. ROS is going to be the future of robotics. That's for sure, because it makes the things very easy. ROS means robotics operating system that controls everything about robots. Yeah, okay. Then any question, any more questions that you would like to ask, you can ask. Yeah, it's very interesting. robotics is for sure very interesting. Yeah, any other questions? Anything more? Anything you want from me? Yeah, not operating system in the sense it's a combination of packages that develop for the robot so that they can communicate internally easily. You can just Google ROS, you will get to know many things about it. Yeah, I can show you some more projects as well. Like projects in the sense that even there are few good sites, like even this is one I also has a very good on CAD. This is one of my CAD designs, and this is one of my other design. And even we all together with many of our seniors, we all filed a patent for our designs. So there are a lot of things that you can actually do being a part of this community. There are so many things like there could be many graphics as well as even I worked on many of the designs. Even I could show you one of the design. Yeah, this is one of the design for Risk LP. We developed this. This was one of our design. There are so many things like this. Okay, if when you talk in sense of companies are less, but yeah, it depends on your interest. If you are interested, then you will get a lot of offers from lot of companies. Like there are so many companies they are starting up at present. So future is bright. It's going to be bright for sure. But you need to have a right set of skills. Like if you say in terms of robotics, then you need to have a right set of skills. There are many things that you need to have a good grip on, like basic mechanical, basic electronics, and a good control on coding part, because most of the things start in from simulation, and simulation generally works on the perspective of coding and all those things. So that's it. So I guess thank you guys. Thanks for having me over here. I really had a I really felt very good after coming back to my own club after so many days and meeting you, all of you. Thank you very much. Enjoy this journey for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritik sir. It was really impressive. All of your collections and your robots were like really impressive. I have to admit they were really nice. I hope everyone here has taken inspiration from you, learned from you, and all the advices that you have given. They can put it to use and they can start their journey as well. For those who are interested, this is really a good opportunity, because let me also remind you, this is also a recruitment drive where you also get the chance to join Risk LPU, which is a tier 7 organization. So are you excited, guys? Everyone?
Swati, one thing I would like to add, and I think many
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you have,
sure.
yeah, okay. I think many of you have seen in the first day that we are filing some patents from our organization with the guidance of our mentor. And not only the mentor, we are having Ritik Verma here. He's good at CAD designing. He not only one project, he helped for every project for those patents, and he helped in the filing the patents. Not only those, for the competitions also. He's been with us, and he also helped us for taking place in the competition. So thank you, Ritik Verma, for supporting us
Thank you,
from
thank you,
long
thank
time.
you. It has always been pleasure to be the part of Race Calpio. It is very enjoying. Seriously speaking, if you get into this Race Calpio na, then it is the best club in entire LP because you will find everyone over here, all branches. Thank you. That's it. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So now moving forward, we have the next slot of our today's session, which is about application of robotics. So imagine that next time you go to a restaurant, your chef is a robot. How about that? Or maybe your doctor is a robot. When you have an appointment or it's even possible that the next time you go to Japan, your customer service agent is also a robot. How cool would that be, right? How many of you guys think that like looking forward to like having such a nice time in future, like waiting for that era to come? Well, yeah, so robots do have such a wide range of applications in almost every industry that we see because of their precision and convenience. So now we will be having Dhanush, who will be explaining us in detail all about applications of robots. So everyone, please show some enthusiasm in the chat box and let's welcome him. Dhanush, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Swati. So
Thank you.
let me carry on with the slides. So welcome back, everyone. As I have said in the previous slot, these applications of the robots, we have it in directly involved or indirectly involved in our lives. We use everything which is composed or which is made from the robotics. And for discussing about robotics, let's try it with an application called Robo Analyzer. It is Robo Analyzer is a 3D model based software that can be used to teach and learn the robotics concepts. It is developed in Mechatronics Lab in IIT under the guidance of Professor S.K. Saha. It is called as priceless software as there is no need to pay money for it. So it is not a heavy software even. It is just 24 MB. So if you can download it, you need to sacrifice 2 matches in BGMI or Free Fire or Valorant. So are you ready to do it, guys? Wow, I can see the excitement. So I'll paste. So Rohani, can you please paste the instructions for installing the software in the chat box? Anyhow, let me show them. Yeah, we can download it. You can download it in laptop. So let me show how to install it then. There is a link, right? So when you click on that link, you will come into this website where you can see the downloads, right? Here, when you click on the downloads, you can see the version, means system requirements given here and the versions which are available in different which were from the starting of Robo Analyzer from the development, and you can download latest version of Robo Analyzer v7.5. So you can check the requirements. So when you click on this, it will be asking path, and you can directly download the zip file, and you can extract the zip file. Then you can use the application. Let's go to the slides now. So in Robo Analyzer has many features like pH parameter visualization, HTM module, forward kinematics, inverse kinematics, forward dynamics, inverse dynamics, virtual robot module, and many more. So in this section, we'll be discussing, mainly concentrating on forward kinematics, HTM module, and the virtual robot module. So let's go into it. Forward kinematics. Forward kinematics is the process of obtaining velocity of end factor. As I have did you remember I have discussed about end effector of robotic arm in the previous lecture. How many of you remember that? I don't see any message. Did you guys forgot it? Okay, Naman, you remember that? Okay, yes, that's fine then. So this is a process of finding the position on the velocity of end effector given the joint angles and the angular velocities. Here you can see in the picture, right? The length of the link and the angle between the links were given, and through that information we find position of the end factor with the process of forward kinematics. Forward kinematics is required to find the position and orientation of the tooltip once the parameters of the actuators are given. This is a mechanical contest. Simply, forward kinematics is process of finding position of the end effector. In mathematical form, it is represented in rotation matrix. So, rotation matrix will help us determine how the end factor of a robot changes its orientation due to changes in servomotor angles. Simply, the orientation of a robot can be represented in mathematical terms by rotation matrix, sorry. So we'll be learning the basic of rotation matrix here. And if you want to learn deep into it, you can see it in net, or anyhow if you're going to recruit it in the risk will be holding many workshops you can from where you can learn many aspects which includes rotation matrix also. So let's go to the software now. So when you open software, this is the first interface which opens on it with a default of 2 degree of freedom robot, which is already simulated here. And here are the functions which is related to the robot kinematic chain, which we can change. And to avoid further confusions, I would like to say the definition, definitions in a single line. Here, joint offset is the length of the intersection of common normals of the on the joint axis, and joint angle is the angle between the orthogonal projections of common normal. Link length is normally the length of the link. A twist angle is the angle between the orthogonal projections of joint axis. So before simulating, I would like to show you the HTM module, which I have mentioned that we'll be concentrating on. So when you open it, this is the interface of the HTM module. So you can see that, right? These arrows, this is the X, Y, X and Y and Z axis of a, you can see you had experience of Cartesian plotting and all in your previous sections. In 12th or 10th, right? Did you guys? You can't see. Oh, is my screen visible for all? No. Yeah. So if it is froze, I think it's from your issue from your side, guys. I think it won't be stuck for some and a good one for others, right? So if that is stuck, or you can rejoin the link which was which was given to you. So this HTML module is interface is having a translate function here, and let me show the use of this. If we are giving x is equals to 4, and let's give it in a high value 8, and y is equals to 9, and z is equals to 10. So now, as I have given x, y, z values, these were taken as the point coordinate. And when I translate this, you can see that, right? The point axis was moving from the origin to the other place. Is it visible?
Dhanush,
Yeah.
actually, I think you should reshare your screen.
Oh, sorry then. Just a minute.
No,
I will
it's
reshare it.
okay. Yeah.
It's stuck for everyone. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's now visible.
Thank you. Then let me reset this. So this was the interface when you open HTML module. And here you can see that, right? The translate option. And when you give the values in by default, those were given in zeros. When the screen was stuck, I have changed it. So I gave X as 8, Y as 9, and Z as 10. So when I translate this, you can see the movement of the origin point. It moves from the origin to the point of x is equals to 8, y is equals to 9, and z is equals to 10. So this is the translation of the point in HTML module. Now let me show it. Let me show the transformation matrix. So can you guys see this here? Oh, sorry, I'm not a good artist. I can't draw. Yeah. Can you see guys here 8, 9, 10 values? Yes, that's good. Then so here this is a transformation matrix which is having x, y, z values here. And as there is zero angle rotation, there is no a rotation matrix. If there is an angle zero rotation with the rotation matrix will be identical matrix. I think you have studied matrices in your 12th class, right? Do you guys know about identity matrix? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So as there is no rotation here, the matrix rotation matrix will be getting is identical one. I will erase these lines. Sorry for the diagrams which I have drawn. So now we'll be giving this a rotation. Let's take 45. And to view it clearly, as we are doing it above x-axis, let's take the view as y and z. See, we can see the y and z axis now as we are moving x coordinate. So when we rotate it in 45 degrees, we can see that, right? This has moved. Let me reset it. So when you give 45 degrees of rotation, can you guys see this rotation of 45 degrees here? So as there is rotation in this HTML module, as there is rotation in this module, we can see that values changes in the rotation matrix of with the respect to 45 degrees. And these values have a mathematical expression to derive, and this is a long part as we cannot explain it here now. You can learn it separately, or with the collaboration with the risk, you can learn it afterwards. So this was about HTML module. And let me explain about the views if you're working on it. Isometric view will be covering the XYZ in a common plane so that you can view the movements of the translations and the rotations of the axis. and XY with the for the rotation of Z, YZ with for the rotation of X, and XZ is for the rotation of Y. So, and when we reset it, the values get into normal. See, as I have done it before, the rotation matrix has changed. So this was about the HTM module and its uses. You can find translation and rotation of the axis of the point which was given to you in a digital manner. And you can also get rotation matrix and transformation matrix, which I think you'll be getting it in second year if you're there. So let's come back to Robo Analyzer. So is my screen visible or it got stuck again? Can someone give me assurance?
It's visible.
Yeah.
It's
So,
visible, yeah.
so let's simulate robots with different DOFs, I mean degree of freedoms. Let's start it from the basics. One DOF, and you can see that right here. Select if you want to create, if you want to simulate a robot, you have to adjust DH parameters here first, giving the 1 DOF, 2 DOF, or 3 DOF. Here the options were given, and when you select 1 DOF and then the select robot joints will be given in two options, one prismatic and one rotational, and I will explain it after showing the simulation. So you can see that right, it has having a prism. You can see the prismatic joint on the screen. A prismatic joint is a joint that provides linear sliding movement between two bodies, and it is called a slider. So you can observe that when I run it in the forward analysis. Can you guys see the movement of the slider here? Yes. So this is how the prismatic joint here works. And let me show the rotational. And if you want to change it here, you can change the value, and you can click this green with mark, I mean green circle with the tick mark to load the selected robot. So can you see guys, here is the rotational robot. A rotational robot is a revolute joint used to describe an rotational movement. So when if I click it here, the forward analysis of this robot will be complete, and then we'll be getting permissions to run it to play it forward. So when I run it, according to the link length and the given value minus 90 to 90, it goes from here, this point to this point. So if you want to change the link length, you can change it here. So this is how the link length or these options, it depends on our hands and project which we are doing. So according to the required values, we can give the link length, twist angle, initial value, and the final value. So I think you have understood about the points and how to simulate here, right? So let's let's go to the complex one for explanation. So I'm taking 4 DOF and 4 rotational. Oh. Yeah. So here is the robot with 4 rotational joints, and when I simulate it with the forward kinematics, it it runs, and you can see the path which is covered by it. So this is how it works, and you can you guys see the link configuration and EE configuration here? This is link configuration and this is EE configuration. the and a link configuration is configuration of the given links. We have to select that, and so when we open the link configuration here, it was taken as a fourth link configuration. And when we select the fourth, when we select, for example, link 2, and when we click update, the position of the link will be updated in the matrix form here. And this is how we can find the means the link form is link 4 means it is the position of the end vector. And when we update it here, we can get the position in the matrix form. And here EE configuration means it is the configuration of end effector. By the name we can get it, right? And when we update the configuration, we can get the position of the end effector. So this is how the simulation goes in robotic robo analyzer. And let me go to virtual robot module then now. Virtual robot module, it has less to explain and more to understand from your side, of course. After downloading the software, you can open the virtual robot simulator in this, and you will be having the list here, which are robotic arms which are made by ABB company, Fanuc, Epson, and KUKA companies, MTAB, Puma, and small arm. So let's take ABB IRB 400 2400 and load it here. So here is the robot made by the ABB company, and as this joint, you can see can you guys see the path of the joint 1 when I'm moving it from 180 degrees? Oh, okay. You can. Sorry, I think my screen got froze again. Let me share the screen of the HTM module. Yeah, I think you can see it right now, right? So here is the when you click it here, here will be the list of the robots which I have said. And when you select the robot and load it here, the robot made by the company opens up here, software model, and you can check the path of the robot, how it works, and what angles it can move in the. See, so let me erase the trace so that you can see it again. So when I'm moving the joint 1, you can see the path of the movement right here in the red line. So this is how the robot works in the industries for movement of in a circular motion. So similarly, all these robots, sorry, the software models were available in this module, and you can see after downloading the software. So, and also, let me erase the trace, and you can see if you when you go to the Cartesian control, and if you want to see the robot in the automatic manner, so you can give the number of steps. I am giving the steps in 10 to 10 so that it can go fastly. So when I start it, can you see the robot moving? Just a minute, I will do it with the robot then. So when I go to Cartesian plane and give it the 10 steps to start, so this was the motion of the robot and how it works with the 10 steps. And you can see the location of the end effector was given here in the module. So this is how the robo analyzer works. And thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. It was great with you this section. And giving back to Swati sister, you can take.
Thank you so much, Dhanush, for today's wonderful session. It was
Yeah,
actually
it's my
really
pleasure.
informative. It was really informative and helpful to me as well. I hope every one of us found it as much helpful as I found it. And if you have got a clear picture, I hope it is all clear about robotics for you. If you have any doubts, you can put them in the chat box. We would love to answer them. Has anyone have any doubts, guys? Okay, so if everything is clear, then type yes in the chat box. Okay, okay. So now I would like to conclude today's meet, but before we do that, I would like to ask everyone some questions. So is everyone ready for a few questions? Show some enthusiasm, guys. Okay, okay. So has any one of you ever broken a TV remote at your home? Or maybe just any, electronic device? Okay, I can see many of you have done that. So what did you see inside? When you broke the TV remote or any electronic device, what did you see inside? Okay, PCB. Okay, some of you guys know already what I'm going to talk about. Okay, okay. So you'd have seen some circuits, some green circuits inside, green structure inside. So tomorrow's session is actually all about understanding those structures, those PCB designings, and also we will be having some hands-on practice tomorrow. And the most interesting part, we will also be having a live project on automatic traffic light. So it sounds all interesting, right? Yeah, with Proteus. How many of you are interested for tomorrow's session? How many of you are going to attend it? Yes, yes. Please make sure that every one of you attends tomorrow's meet. It will be very interesting. You will get to do a lot of things, learn a lot of things, and you can even invite your friends if they are interested. Yeah, yeah. I make sure you are there with any of your colleagues that you know, and we will also have a lot of fun. Okay. So along with that, I would also like to let you know that we also have participation certificates. A link of that has been shared in the chat box. Make sure everyone has opened it and filled it up, because if you also have to attend for 4 days to get the participation certificate. So make sure you guys are consistent, active, and attentive throughout these sessions. All right. Okay, okay. So keep it up, everyone, and make sure you are there tomorrow. Thank you so much for being such a lovely audience and participating in such an active manner. I would also like to thank Risk team for organizing this informative and insightful event. Thank you so much, everyone. Now I would like to conclude today's meet and hope everyone has learned something from today's session. Okay. Those who want to leave can leave now. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Or also Dhanush, thank you so much for today's session. It was really lovely. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you.